Hey, welcome back lads. So we have some more information and maybe our first official teaser for the zombies mode in Call of Duty 2024, the next Black Ops game that is gonna follow on from where Cold War left off. Now you can probably hear I'm still recovering from a cold, so please bear with me, but yeah, this is kind of crazy stuff, so let's get into it. And because it is related to zombies and the zombie story, it might get a little deep and complicated, but I'll do my best to explain to you what's going on here. So yeah, this teaser or this information or whatever is coming from Modern Warfare Zombies. It's been in the game pretty much since the game launched, but no one really realized or caught on to this. That the storyline cutscene from Act 2 reveals some of the backstory to one of the zombies maps and one of the characters that are going to be in the next Black Ops game. Of course, that's going to take place in the 1990s, way before the events of Modern Warfare Zombies. So we get this profile of one of the bad guys, Fletcher, who is basically like the second in command, and it says in that era, in the 1990s, in 1993, he worked as security for the CIA on Terminus Island. That's an interesting location. Now remember, at the end of the last Black Ops game, Cold War, obviously they straight up told us that the zombie story will pick up 5 years later, which would take us into the 1990s, and they also directly tease the island map to us, an island in the Pacific, where one of the bad guys, Dr. Peck, is going to for some reason, and we know the reason, we'll get into that. But also, about a month ago, we also had some solid info about this island map leaked. Surely that has got to be this same Terminus Island that is talked about in Modern Warfare Zombies because we're talking about islands here, but also because they're both taking place at the same time. So what we can gather from this story from the end of Cold War is that the bad guy, Dr. Peck, is trying to take a boat to this secret island, Terminus Island, which has some kind of facility built on it or near it, and that also has something to do with the Dark Ether rockets that Dr. Peck himself built during the Cold War story, and then we kind of like launched those rockets into the Pacific Ocean to get rid of them, which probably caused a massive zombies outbreak, and now that is what's going on. You know, that's like the only source of the Ethereum crystals left on Earth, and that is why Dr. Peck is going to that location. Now the leaks for the map, so little spoilers here, you know, tell us that there is a laboratory and a prison on this island map, and you take these like tube chute elevators, you know, basically an elevator to go down to it, whether it's an underground or underwater facility. And yeah, that is now where we can link the story to Richtofen, like, who I think now is the ultimate bad guy of the story, or one of them, and also the other characters from Cold War, the main characters like Weaver, Dr. Grey, and the other Requiem guys, because at the end of the story they were imprisoned and captured by Richtofen, and that is probably where they're being kept, right, on this prison at Terminus Island. So yeah, that seems to be what's going on. That's what they have teased to us in the story. That's what they're building up to. And also the name is interesting, right? Terminus Island, because the bad guys in Modern Warfare Zombies, the group is called Terminus Outcomes. That is who Fletcher works for. So if that was called Terminus Island way back when, and it's like was a facility that belonged to Richtofen and his group, then I'm wondering, is it him? Is it Richtofen who created the Terminus Outcomes group and is like could still be in charge of them in the Modern Warfare era? Could he be like the bad guy in the story? I think that is also very likely because, you know, Fletcher worked on Terminus Island, which we believe is the facility that belongs to Richtofen, and now Fletcher still works for, you know, this group Terminus Outcomes, so there has to be a link to Richtofen there. And now finally, you know, keeping in mind this island map and what we've heard about it, it's going to be one of the 2 launch maps for Black Ops 2024, and it's given me kind of similar vibes to Zetsubou no Shima from Black Ops 3, which was also a tropical island that had this facility where a lot of crazy experiments were done, and if you remember as well, it was also used to imprison Takio, and yeah, he was on that island, so it's kind of similar, right? Similar vibes. But that is about that, so stay spicy, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.